class over the last couple of years. These are the participants then looking to get through, and there's some big names there, Matt.
Yeah, there really are. Imperiled in 2021, he has not qualified lower than 6th place so far this year, and his most recent qualifying performance was...
Jorge Martin then exits pit lane, number 89, the rookie, don't forget, missing 4 Grand Prix at the start from proceedings here. Loves this Assen circuit, does Danilo, and since jump or a seat, or is he? Next year in Tech 3 KTM, with the rumours hotting up again that Raul Fernandez is crucial now.
Yeah, it was a poor qualifying, or an average qualifying last time out in Sachsenring, which 15th dropped down to, and a rousing fight back to 5th place. Really, he knew that was a wasted opportunity. His closest championship rival, and we've seen, particularly in FP4, how strong Quartararo is in terms of his race pace. They cannot...
Outlaps completed, Savadori's decided. Marc Marquez is my reference. Saturday's difficult so far in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, Marc Marquez will still be trying to just build back up to confidence after that. Something like that happens so unexpectedly, it really catches you out. Riders know they're going to make mistakes, they're going to attack hard and the brakes will lose. The fact would have certainly eroded a lot of the confidence he picked up last weekend in Sachsenring. Let's quickly, before this session gets quite lively,
as there was some laps coming after, like on the 3rd lap, they were still going faster, spinning, and you're not getting the tyre degradation. They're not dropping as much, and that's giving the rider, it's not just going to come on that 1st or 2nd flyer, maybe even on the 3rd at the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for that, Simon. Yeah, we'll look out for that one. Yeah, we will keep an eye on that. The first flying laps then are coming in here from Q2. The Repsol Honda man, 8-time world champion Marquez then crosses the line, leading. So Jorge Martin, despite being a rookie here, he knows how to extract the best out of a motorcycle on a Saturday afternoon. He goes
with Assen. He's won in both the smaller classes, Moto 3 and in Moto 2. Love to make it a hat-trick, particularly on the factory Yamaha. Here's a man who's doing an outstanding job. Talk about being thrown off the 10-metre board in the deep knee surgery. Morbidelli's mate, though, I'm sure Franco's watching at home, and he'll be delighted at the moment to see all his great buddies from the VR. He absolutely mullered the opposition on that lap. And he's 7/10 clear of Savadori in 2nd.
Marc Marquez now then. I'm in 3rd. At the moment, it's Bagnaia and Martin who would advance through to Q2. Wonder what's happening down in Pramac Ducati.
And it all looks normal, so I'll have to ask to find out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Not a character that normally gets too flustered in these high pressure situations. He's Marco. He needs to find a lap time on a soft tyre. He's found it on many occasions so far.
Ike Lecuona is on a decent lap, and he might just pinch a spot into Q2 for the time being if he'd come across the line. Doesn't quite make it. That was close though, 900ths away from taking 2nd from Jorge Martin.
17th place start on the grid. He's only qualified top 10 twice all season. And that's clear evidence of where his all secrets are. Do you remember at the start of 2020, was it? And there was all the big hoo-ha about the Ducati.
So far so good for Pecco Bagnaia, a 32.6. Puts him a full 4/10 up on Jorge Martin. You've got to believe he will. Any news then on Zarco? Is there any reason why there's no time set?
An outlap or maybe one more. Come in on one bike because there's a problem, and they've swapped those wheels over to...
Last time out in Germany and delivered a fantastic performance. He was on pole for the Grand Prix of Germany 6 days ago. Q2.
It's been a painful return to the Dutch TT so far for this young man.
They know he's got to find a time. Why wouldn't you? Because he can't roll out, Zarco.
Bagnaia's had great speed as well. He's dominating them, but just playing the waiting game. A long outlap here, so they're not going to want to mess around for too long.
Here comes Zarco, and this might be a bit like follow the leader. Round by the time they come round to start flying laps.
Yeah, well, he's probably got a sore neck. Zarco is.
Zarco won't be fussed about it. He's
though. Those boys behind him know they've got to get on with this. He's got to get on with it, particularly because he's not registered a lap time.
He's got the
push. And the problem here as well is when you're doing this on an outlap, you can easily let temperature drop out of those tyres. That would go at some point just to get a lap time in.
Well, Mark was following Johan Zarco earlier on, and it worked out. It's left here. They'll get 2 flying laps in.
Yeah, so Zarco is now in time attack
and pushing loose there from Johann Zarco, he's stretching, it's twitchy again through turn 4.
Best lap of the weekend, credit to him at 1:33.739. It's not looking a comfortable ride right now on that Ducati GP21.
Beautifully positioned here, number 27 on that bright orange Tech 3 KTM. So maybe mark the pair of these guys.
Well, it's not a given at the moment that the top two will be Bagnaia and Martin. And there's absolutely nothing.
Iker Lecuona here is destined to go into the top 2. He's even maybe going to have a move on Marc Marquez into the final chicane as well.
Was that Zarco?
Zarco's running wide. It's over.
That's over. Wow, Johann Zarco, the best he can hope for then is qualifying. It's gone. Yeah, wow, his lap has gone, exceeding the track limit.
Marc Marquez then is hoping that Iker Lecuona keeps this lap going. That lap got cancelled. Right now it's Bagnaia and Lecuona going through to Q2. Martin is up in sector 1 by
cancel for Petrucci, which briefly and momentarily got him into second place. All the hard work to be done again by the Italian.
Someone just gone down. Marquez has crashed out of Q2. The best he can hope for then is 17th on the grid for the Dutch TT. Some Lecuona, because he's had a great session. Oh no, he's got that slightly wrong as well, Martin. He was so wide there on the approach for Martin. But was he too wide? Across the line, he was too wide.
Yeah, lost a whole bunch of time, lost a big chunk.
Alex Marquez and Luca Marini. Johann Zarco then, second in the World Championship, will start 17th. This man, Mark, starting from 21st place on the grid. Let's see this crash then, and we're just seeing him get up out of the gravel. Managed to get over the line for one more lap. That must have been by the skin of his teeth. He's really pushing here, the Frenchman, and he's almost 3/10 up.
Here comes Zarco then out of the final corner. That's all clean and tidy, and he's done it. A 32.541. Ducati there, they know that was tight. Lecuona then gets pushed out by just 0.06 of a second by a whisker, and he made it count.
That was from him. He'll start from 13th on the grid. That's still his best qualifying of the season.
How vital could that be for him and his prospects of the podium here this weekend? He needed that. Could not have afforded to have missed out.
The timing of that, he delivered, and I should just add as well, he delivered that lap in amongst traffic because other riders had seen the checkered flag and they were all sitting
out of nowhere. He fires in a 1:32.541, and Johann Zarco can still fight right at the end by 0.06. He's third, and Martin, Savadori, Marquez, Marini, Petrucci at one stage was in the top 2. Two men were first and fourth respectively in Germany just 6 days ago, and Garrett Gerloff there into the 1:33s. Misano doubleheader last September. That seems like a long time ago, but the men fighting for pole position here.
Worked very well, have a lot of potential. My pace is really good for the race. Pushing lap is the first time.
But he was an excellent 4th place in the recent FP4 session in the Aprilia, working really strong.
Taka Nakagami also out in Q2 for this session as well. He just pulls out alongside Johann Zarco 2021. Jack Miller. It sort of feels already like a damage limitation, been able to pull something out of the bag. He's got a great qualifying record actually so far this year. He's always been on the front 2 rows. Probably take that.
Fabio Quartararo though, form so far this season and this week.
To add regarding Iker Lecuona, who just missed out on a place in Q2.
Yes, I really enjoyed that little insight, from a MotoGP rider. Take in on the bike, to keep it in control. The gear changes, the everything, the grip, the front, rear, and his minds are taking in on those laps.
Yeah, absolutely right, Simon. Only two. Certainly, some fond memories flood back of Mick Duenver.
Just snatching pole from our Kiwi colleague. Polispargo then winding the Repsol
in the first 2 races of the season where he won. He's only been on the front row once since then, and that was in Le Mans, of course, thus far. And Zarco here, well, anything will do now after that last-minute performance in Q1. The almost perfect weather conditions here at this precise moment in time. It's not too hot, it's not too 1:32 lap of Assen coming up in the next 10 or 11 minutes.
Not a lot of wind around here either. It's close to exceeding track. He got both wheels on the edge of the curve coming through the final corner. If it does stand, well, it's provisional pole and straight away on his second lap.
Yeah, and Zarco straight up into P2. Polispargo third, Alicia Spargo fourth after the first exchange, 2.4. But what about this man, Fabio Quartararo, 200ths down through sector 2. Now he'll flat P1, but he's about to be nudged off it.
He's been good this season on a soft tyre attack, hasn't he, Jack Miller? Late to get out of Q1. Quartararo then does move the goalposts as he so often does in Q2 sessions. A 32
lap record. What a lap it is from the Frenchman. Miller goes to fourth, but here he comes now. Fabio Quartararo. Surely this is going to be... He comes out of the last corner now and across the line. Quartararo is a 31.922, an all-time lap record.
Brilliant. Sensational. He's beaten his own all-time lap record from 2 years ago. That was a 32.0. Maverick Vinales on the front row in second, and Fabio Quartararo then well set for pole number 16. Rins look so good in both FP3 and in FP4, but at the moment they're down in 11th and 12th places. That will not
here across the line. He goes up a couple of spaces to 8th.
Oh, that Suzuki was nervous as well on the gas coming out the final corner. You don't see that too often. Mid 133s. 8th place at the moment for him, but he's almost a full second behind Fabio.
Clearly struggling here this weekend in Assen, and if they come away from today with 3rd and 4th on the grid, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. It looked like he was going to be starting from 17th on the grid until he put in that last gasp effort in Q1. Maverick Vinales to head out on circuit. Fabio Quartararo, he does make you chuckle, doesn't he, Fabio? He's just done a 131.9.
Imagine if he was actually comfortable on a hot lap around. He can't get flustered. Fair play to him, that 32.413 stood, so he was absolutely millimetre perfect running over the curve.
5 minutes left of the session. Here's Valentino Rossi, he's in 11th, Mir in 12th as well. Both will want a bit of a lift here.
He'll be 3rd and 4th on the grid respectively. I think they'd have asked to have signed up immediately.
Brand new soft rear for Quartararo. He's not content with his lap that's almost half a second clear of anyone, although this is close.
This is a real good charge by Maverick Vinales.
It's disappeared completely this lap, hasn't it?
It was. It's all gone course to move up 3 places. At the moment he's down in P10. Estimated position, Miguel Oliveira further down the pack. He's now in 8th spot.
Joan Mir can't find anything yet. He's got 4 minutes left.
32.919. There have not been too many laps in his career that Valentino Rossi's gone around Assen quicker than that, and he's still attempt number 2. He's got nothing for Fabio Quartararo's 31.922, although to be fair to him, I don't think anybody will have. And then he comes into the Bolt, and it was nearly disaster.
Well, he's bounced back, Linjo, and he now comes through sector 3, this time all A-OK for Vinales. He's going to try and challenge his Monster Energy Yamaha team up on Fabio Quartararo. He sweeps through the Gertima chicane. Is Vinales pinching bolt? He is! It's a new all-time lap record from... So Quartararo now, time to respond. Joan Mir just improved a couple of positions. He's up to 10th.
5th place for him. That would equal his season best. And Oliveira's got some work to do. He's down in 8th spot. Taking that Spargaro. So at the moment, Fabio Quartararo building up and building for the first time since Misano 2 last year. He qualified last weekend. Vinales on pole at the moment, and that's it between the 2 factory Yamahas.
Still no change for 3rd and 4th. Zarco remains there with Miller in 4th. Nakagami.
Alex Rins got left in his locker.
Quartararo is almost 2 tenths up in sector 1.
He's got that soft rear tyre now, starting to look sluggish, isn't it? Quartararo still up for the first 2 sectors. Nakagami on course for the front row. All chopping and changing. There was a mistake there by Quartararo.
There was.
How much time did that cost him?
He's on the front row. The Japanese man is...
Johann Zarco, on his last flying lap in Q1, saved himself from a 7th Ferraro. He's taken the checkered flag. Here comes Zarco. Is he back on that front row? No, not quite. It was close. He misses out off on the grid in Assen.
Bagnaya's on the front row. Excellent work from number 63. He put Nakagami down to 4th.
What a week it's been in the life of Maverick Vinales. 7 days to go in the Sachsenring. He qualified last
here on the final lap. Hopefully he's absolutely fine. The checkered flag is out and it doesn't look like there'll be any changes. Oliveira cannot find his way past the front 3 rows.
Thankfully Alex Rins looks relatively okay, no aggravation. Front end washout then, up at turn 8. Last in the Sachsenring to 1st in Assen.
Bizarre. That, it's a Monster Energy Yamaha 1-2, as it was back in
last. He must have been at rock bottom, one of the lowest points of his Grand Prix career. Let's pop down to Simon. Simon.
Mayo, what a job from both the team Yamaha and both your riders.
Yeah, it's difficult that it was extremely happy for us to start from the first row.
We are both almost in the same lap time. For tomorrow, yeah, we have a good possibility, but finger crossed.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so far so good. This is the moment.
Pecco Bagnaia, he was second in Q1. What a bonus to come out of Q1 and then get himself on the front row on a circuit that's GP. And they'd have enjoyed seeing the performance of that man there. Taka Nakagami just having a real close look. And a factory Ducati. Nakagami at the Ducati GP21. I'm sure he was looking at the tyres as well just to see the performance of Assen. It's Maverick Vinales who in 7 days goes from the back of the grid to the front of the grid with a record-breaking 1:30. Paco and Oliveira on the second row. Rins, Miller, Aleix Espargaro and Joan Mir complete your top 10. And it's Pol Espargaro, Valentino Trucci, Bastianini. Don't adjust your sets, ladies and gentlemen. Marc Marquez will start from a career low 20th in 22nd spot. So there are your top 3 men ahead of the 26 lap Dutch TT. Round 9.